Hi, I'm Kerry Lord from TOFT. This video forms part of a series to accompany the Edwards Crochet kits, patterns and books. So in this video I'm going to talk about the double crochet stitch. The double crochet stitch is very important when we are doing any of the Ed's animals or dolls. Mainly most of my patterns are only worked using the double crochet stitch, so it's quite important to make sure you're doing this stitch correctly. So when we're working the double crochet stitch, using this amigurumi method, so to work 3D and make a solid piece of fabric that you're going to put the stuffing inside to make a toy, we're going to just work the double crochet stitch through the whole stitch. So watch the other videos about how to start and how to increase if you want to do the specifics. This one really is honing in on double crochet and how to do this one stitch. So we're going to work the entire stitch, which means we're going to put the hook through beneath the whole V when we're working that stitch. So we're going to put a hook right in beneath that next V in my circle. I'm going to yarn over, so grab the yarn, draw it through to this point where I've got 2 loops on my hook, yarn over and bring it back through. That is the British double crochet stitch. So the reason why I'm pointing this out is because the US terminology uses the same words and phrases but means a different thing. So all of my Ed's Animals patterns are made using a British double crochet stitch, which is that stitch there that I've just covered. So say you're going to do 2 of those into one stitch, you'd go into your next one along this V here. Again, go right in, yarn over and bring that forward to this point where you've got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and through both loops, and then back into that same stitch to work a second one. So that's doing 2 double crochets into the same stitch. The final thing really is to do this decrease, so a double crochet 2 together, doing your decrease in a double crochet stitch. There's lots of ways of doing this, but the one that I would recommend for amigurumi, because it's not going to create a lump or a hole in your work, is to actually take your hook and rather than go through the whole stitch as we have been doing, we're going to come up through the stitch like this, so up through half of the stitch. Take your hook back down and up through half of the next stitch in the same way. So you can see what I've got is 2 halves of the next 2 stitches on my hook. And then I'm just going to complete the double crochet stitch as normal. So yarn over and through those 2 halves to the point where I've got 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and through. And what that does is it gives you a lovely neat decrease. It decreases the front of the stitches, so it turns 2 stitches back to 1 stitch using the fronts, but you don't get a lump and you don't get a hole in the back of the fabric if you're using that method. So that's the British double crochet stitch. It's called a single crochet in US terms, and just be aware if you are out there hunting for videos, it can be quite a confusing thing to learn to crochet with when you've got the 2 different terms, but all the Ed's patterns are done in the British double crochet stitch, which is the US single crochet.